Hi ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are all taking care of yourselves really well. I just wanted to say guys that if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, alright? And also, if you haven't signed up for one of my hypnotherapy sessions, then you're really missing out, okay guys? Because you will really enjoy it. And all of my clients, right, a lot of them have tried it, or a few of them have tried it actually, and they really love it. Every time, like after every session, I look at them and they look like they just took like a huge spiritual shower. If that makes any sense. I mean, I know it sounds funny, right? But it looks like they just got out of a sauna or something. And you know that feeling when you just get out of the sauna, right? And you've been in there for like 30 minutes or so, right? You feel like a feather, basically, right? You feel cleansed. Well, anyways, that's exactly how my clients look after their sessions, okay? And a lot of them have this like huge smile on their face. And so I know you guys, if you haven't tried hypnotherapy, then give it a try maybe, okay? Sign up with me or shoot me an email, okay? And I would love to work with you guys, okay? I really do enjoy doing it too, although, although I don't feel like my clients do, okay? I feel a little bit tired after the sessions, actually very tired. I feel like I can sleep for like a week or so, so there's probably an energy exchange, right? And then I tend to take on the bad energy, so, but that's how it works, right? And it's okay, right? Because as healers, right, as beings of light, right, we kind of transmute that energy, right? We work with it, we know how to cleanse it, right? So I think a lot of us, that's what we're here for, right? That's what we're here to do. We're here to take this energy and to take any bad energy on and to transmute it, right? And that's okay, right? We can do this with people. We can do this in different environments, and that's that's normal for us, right? Especially, it's easy to do, especially once you learned, once you have the proper tools to do that, right? And so yeah, there's a huge difference between someone who is like an aware empath, right, and an unaware one. Unaware ones don't have the right tools yet. They don't know too much about energy, and they often end up taking on a lot of bad energy, right? And they don't know what to do about it. They think it's theirs. They think it's all theirs, right? And so there's a big difference, right? And so yeah. Anyways, but this video, guys, okay, in this video I want to discuss I wanted to discuss a divine intervention when it comes to your work, okay? And I know a lot of you, okay, all I can tell you is that once you're working for God, once your desired path, or your path, not desired path, but your path aligns with you, with who you are, with your heart space, okay? You will naturally work for God. You will not naturally serve the light. You will naturally do things that benefit not just you, but will benefit humanity as a whole. And it can be anything, right? As we all have a different purpose, okay? So it doesn't have to be just one thing, like, I don't know, therapy, right? Or I know a lot of, healers, they're in this field, they're in the medical field, right? And they're interested in it because they are healers, right? And so that makes sense, right? But a lot of us take different routes, right? We don't all have to become doctors, for example, right? There's alternative medicine, right? There's therapy, there's hypnotherapy, there's I don't know, counseling, right? There are many things that healers can do, basically, okay? There's like a healing massage, right? There's Reiki, I think, or something like that. I don't know. I don't know too much about Reiki, okay? But there are many paths, right? And many of us have different callings for a reason, right? Because people need all of those things, right? They need, and we don't all have the same gifts, and that's okay, and that's a good thing, right? And so once you align with a certain path, okay, there are two things that you need to pay attention to, okay, because your purpose sometimes it evolves, okay, and so maybe you were supposed to do something for a season, kind of like with friends, right, or with people that come into our lives. We have to understand this concept. We have to understand that not everything is meant to last forever, okay, and most things will not. Like, for example, we're not always meant to be in a relationship forever, okay? We're not meant to be with certain people forever. We're not meant to be in certain locations forever. We're not meant to be in specific fields forever too, right? And so sometimes after doing something, after being in a certain field, perhaps you discover or unlock certain gifts within you that you never even knew were there until you did that job, right? And so, that's what happened with me, right? And so that's why, for example, I went from teaching into hypnotherapy, right? Because I realized that I really enjoyed helping people emotionally. And I enjoyed like conversational English, for example, right? So, and while I still really very, very much enjoy, teaching, right? I just discovered that I have other gifts that I can also utilize, and that can also help me grow as an individual and help me expand, right? And it's all about growth and expansion, right? And evolution, right? And so that's why I decided to also pursue this field, this area, right? Is because I realized that teaching was very similar, okay, to an extent. And I was like a counselor, right? I was like a life coach, and my clients, my students, they felt very comfortable to open up to me and to even discuss their private lives with me, right? And so one even opened up to me about, rape, being raped, and another opened up to me about having a child that has problems, and you guys, I can go on and on and on, right? And so, and I was able to kind of help them navigate this, right? And help them out in some way. And so that made me feel amazing, because I feel like it's my calling, that's my purpose, and so I was like, well, what more can I do, how can I get into this field, without having to get a degree that's like, it takes forever, right? Like if I was to go into like therapy, right, it can take a very, very long time to get into that field, right? And so I thought about it, and I was like, okay, well, maybe this is, a good way for me to get into a similar field and help people, and so I did, right? And so that's what I'm saying, right, is that your purpose, right, it can evolve over time, okay? And sometimes you were never meant to be in a certain area. You're meant to evolve, which means you can branch out now, right? And after practicing or doing something, you will realize this, right? And then you can evolve and start doing something else that's more in alignment with who you are or what you were meant to be doing, right? And so there's that, right? So always pay attention to that, right? And also, once again, sometimes, okay, you have to pay attention to two things. Okay, what can happen, right, is divine intervention. And why? The reason being is because you were too stuck in one area of your life, and you weren't making any steps to move forward, okay? And so that's where divine intervention can come in the spiritual realm, right? And how would this look like in the physical? In the physical, it would look like all your clients are drying up. Like nothing is working now, nothing is being pushed forward, right? You're not getting the clients. Suddenly all your students stopped coming when you've never had the problem with that, in 6 years, for example, right? Like I did. so this, like, a similar thing happened to me, so I'm speaking once again from experience, right, guys, because I have a lot of experience and I want to share it with you guys so you can apply it in your own life and learn from it too, so, or maybe so you can become aware of what's going on, or what possibly is going on, right? So I was like, okay, but I have this. I've never had a problem with students, right? But suddenly they just stopped kind of coming, right? And I was like, that's really strange. What's going on, right? And so it's also at this point that I decided to pivot, right, into something else that's a little bit more in alignment with who I am, right? And so I was like, yeah, okay. And so I took this time to, to study, to get a diploma, right, to get a certificate, to understand the craft, basically, to gain that skill, right? And so, and I'm glad that I did, because, teaching also, guys, when it comes to teaching, right, it doesn't pay too well. And that's the shitty part about this, is that it doesn't pay too well. And so, I know a lot of teachers, especially freelance teachers, they're struggling, and that's not a good thing, right? Because I believe they make such a huge impact, yet they're struggling, right? And so it's not fair, right? And so, of course, when you're doing something that you love for a living, and when you're helping so many others, right, you want to get paid for it also, right? There's nothing wrong with wanting to get paid for the value that you bring, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Okay, and so I also went into hypnotherapy because I knew there was potential there to make more money, a lot more money, and of course that comes with a price too, guys. Okay, once again, the price is energetic for your okay. And so, but once again, if you have the right tools, it's not gonna really, bother you too much, okay? But, okay, it helps a lot of people, okay? It helps a lot of people in more ways than one, right? I mean, after all, you get into their subconscious mind, right? You change their negative beliefs, okay, and you transform their subconscious mind for the better, basically, okay? And so that's the beauty of hypnotherapy, right? And so yeah, and you get paid for what you're doing. You get paid pretty decent money for doing this, right? And so that's wonderful, I think, because I believe that we all deserve to be making an amazing living, right? When we're doing godly work, when we're living from our heart space, when we're doing the work that comes from our hearts, right? And so there's that, right? And also, but also, guys, just keep this in mind, okay? Once again, the number one point, right, about this is that yes, divine intervention can happen, okay, when you are meant to evolve, when you're stuck somewhere, okay? And so take the stopping of clients, right, as a sign that you need to possibly do something else and evolve, okay? And so there's that, right? And then there's another, right? There's something else too, okay? There's also the fact that you can also get involved with the wrong people, okay? And once again, it's also ultimately about the energy too that you bring to the table, okay? Because a lot of us, we don't realize this, okay? But when your energy is amazing, right, you bring in the clients naturally, and the clients will be almost in alignment with your own energy, okay? So they're going to be those that are very close to their own light, right? And so by speaking to you, they subconsciously know that they can get a lot of information from you that will also help them evolve and become better, right? And so, and grow and get closer to source, right? Or eventually just completely in line with source, right? And so there's that, right? And so just consider that, right? But when you get involved with the wrong people, okay, your own energy is going to be affected, okay? And because of that also, this can take you out of alignment, okay? So that's why be careful who you get involved with, okay? Be careful, especially if you're a healer, okay? You're going to be attracting a lot of dark individuals with really, really bad energy or very low vibrational individuals, okay? And that's also going to, if you do get involved with them in any way, even as friends, right? Then your own energy is going to be affected, and you're not going to be able to attract, you know, as many clients, okay? Or the clients that really are meant to be in your life. You might start attracting clients that are also lower in vibration too, okay? And so that's not necessarily a good thing, okay? Because once again, you want to be, even as a teacher, right? You want to be, or even as a healer or a hypnotherapist, right? You want to be working with people that are closer to your own frequency, okay? Rather than those that are very low vibrational, because there's an energy exchange, right? And you will be picking up on their very bad energy, right? And so, which will in turn be affecting you all the time, right? Over and over again. So there's that, right? And so be careful with those two things, okay? And just keep them in mind, okay? I hope you guys enjoyed this video, okay? Thank you so much for watching, okay? And stay tuned for more videos, okay? Book a session with me. Don't be shy, okay? I would love to work with you guys, okay?